Hey, what's up you guys? It's Mike Nardi here. In this video, we're doing another Fiverr seller review. In this video, I'm reviewing a seller from India. He's a graphic designer and has been selling on Fiverr since 2019. What I'll be covering in this video is I'll be reviewing his Fiverr profile, his Fiverr gig title, looking at, the keywords he's using and generally how it sounds, his Fiverr gig portfolio and gallery section, as well as his Fiverr gig description. The goal is going to be to provide some tips, constructive criticism, and some best practices to help him and other Fiverr sellers improve their gigs so that they sell and get bought by more buyers. If you're new to this channel, make sure you're liking this video and subscribing. I put out videos every week with the goal of helping Fiverr sellers all around the world become more successful selling on the platform. Let's get into the review.
All right, Abhishek, so we're going to start here with your profile. You got your username here, Abhishek_PB. Love the picture. Big fan of using real photos for Fiverr profile, so good job there. Then you have a little caption here. Design won't save the world, but it damn sure makes it look good. I like that. A little bit of humor. Looks great. So you're from India. You've been a member since August 2019. Great response time, and it shows your recent delivery there. All good. It's great that you've done a Fiverr Learn course. I don't think enough people have taken advantage of that yet. Okay, so jumping into your description here. So I'll read it out as it is now, and I'll give some feedback here. So it states, web design and graphic designs are my profession and passion. I provide best and quality service without compromise with quality. I have designed websites, small organization to corporate company. So I get what you're saying there, and I think it's clear enough what you do. You're a graphic designer focused on quality and are great to work with. I would maybe just take a look at this description and brush it up a little bit. So grammatically, there's some things that don't really sound right. So so I provide best quality and quality service without compromise with quality. So that could be reworded to something like, I provide a very high level of service, fast delivery times. I'm great to work with without compromising the quality of my deliveries, or something like that. And then you mentioned I have designed websites, small organization to corporate company. So you might be able to say, I have been designing websites for companies ranging in size from very small organizations or startups to large enterprise companies. Just if you reword that in a way that, comes off a little more naturally to, it looks like you're targeting English speakers here. I think that would go a long way in making a solid first impression and helping you sell your services. So moving on, you list the 3 languages that you speak. That's awesome. And then you list your skills here. So this is one area that I usually will tell people to give a little bit more love. You can list way more skills than that, right? So I would start listing things related to Photoshop, related to graphic design, specific skills you have. Really take the time to look at the types of skills that are available to be listed here and list some more things. I'm sure that if you've been doing graphic design for some time for a bunch of different companies, you got more than these 6 skills here. I think these are great, but fill this up, because this is one of those areas that buyers are going to check out to kind of get a feel for what you're capable of. And then down here at the bottom, you list your education. Always a great idea. So overall, I think your profile is pretty great. Profile picture looks great, looking sharp. Nice little bit of humor here. I like that. I would just maybe go a little deeper in the description, brush up on it grammatically a little bit, make sure it sounds sharp. Either do that yourself or hire someone to do it, and maybe add a little bit more here. This is straight and to the point, which is awesome, but I talk about this a lot. There's only so much real estate on your Fiverr profile page for selling yourself, so I would really pack that in. Talk a little bit about why you do what you do, why they should care, why they should work with you, what skills you have. Think about that, and I think it'd be pretty awesome. All right, so jumping into the gig you wanted me to review, it's a gig where you design promotional flyers for businesses, events, parties, things like that. So as a start, looking at this subject line, I think this would probably be more impactful if you limited it to saying something like, I will design promotional flyers for your business, or I will design promotional flyers for your events. Or even you could probably chop this up and make this 3 gigs. 1 gig where you do promotional flyers for businesses, 1 gig where you do promotional flyers for events, and 1 gig where you do promotional flyers for parties. The reason I'm suggesting this is a big part of how your gig shows up in Fiverr search has to do with its SEO. And a title is, one of the first things that Fiverr search is going to crawl to determine what your gig is about. So with the current title, it's kind of a mixed bag. You have events, parties, businesses. When someone's searching for something, they're going to be searching for something specific. If someone needs a promotional flyer for their business, they're going to search for promotional flyers for their business, or promotional flyers for a party, or promotional flyers for an event. So I would make this title specific, something like, I will design a promotional flyer for your business, or I will design a promotional flyer for your event. Whatever you choose, I think if you lay it out that way, it'll give you some SEO juice in Fiverr search and really help positively influence where your gig shows. So that's number one. Moving down here to your portfolio, so you start with a video. So I'll play this first, and then we'll look through some of the other pictures and tell you what I think. All right, so I think that's a great portfolio video. It looks like you do awesome work, flipping through the portfolio images here. These all look pretty fantastic. You definitely deliver quality work. The one thing that I'm going to point out that you mentioned in that video, and I also see up here, that I am not a fan of, and I think it does more bad than good for first impressions with buyers, how they view the quality of your service, and how they view you as a seller, is offering unlimited revisions. I think that's a big no-no. If I'm a buyer and I see a seller offering unlimited revisions, it leads me to believe that seller doesn't value their time, or they can be run over and abused for a number of different revisions that weren't in the initial scope. So offering revisions is great. I always recommend capping the number of revisions that you offer and charging for additional revisions. So, in the world of graphic design, I know there's probably a number of iterations you'll need to go through before you deliver the work, to spec to what your buyer wants. So maybe include like 5 or 7 revisions with an initial order. Remember, you're only charging $5 for this. So, how much can someone really expect? Cap the number of revisions you have, and then that's another upsell opportunity. If someone's buying from you regularly and you've noticed that they frequently request revisions, you can include revisions as an extra, 5 additional revisions for $5 or something like that. I just don't like having unlimited revisions advertised, because you need to protect your time, and as you get more orders, your time is valuable. In the early days, I can see why you're doing that, but even as a tool to loop in new buyers, I think that anything you put in a gig that discredits the value of your time or your skills probably isn't good for the impression you're giving that buyer. So the portfolio is awesome. I'm a stickler for the revisions thing. I really don't like that. All right, so going down to the gig description, I'll read it out and then tell you what I think. So the main goal of any flyer or poster is to bring attention to your business or product. A good flyer design is informative, professional, and tailored to your specific demographic. I will create premium quality and professional designs in any custom size to promote your company's service. Source files, beautiful mock-up of the project for a fee, for free, professional customer service and communication at all times, and 24-hour express delivery. 100% high quality expressive design, unlimited revisions. Again, I hate the revisions thing, but otherwise this is looking good so far. Ready to print files, high resolution, and one size of your choice. I try to respond as quick as possible and will be available for any other questions you may have regarding the service. Please contact before placing the order. Then you list the different things you do here. So at the beginning of this review, I mentioned that I thought that you should make your subject or gig title more specific to either business, party, or events. And down here you talk about it sounds like this is focused towards businesses. I think this is an amazing gig description, but I think that you need to keep things on theme here. So this looks like it's tailored towards business work. Here you say you can do a lot of different work. I think you'd really help out your chances of selling more orders on Fiverr by creating 3 separate gigs for each of these. One for events, one for parties, one for businesses. For the business gig, this description is absolutely perfect. For events or parties, you might want to rework this to, explain why you might be able to help people create flyers or posters for their events or parties. But otherwise, this is an amazing gig description. I think this is really, really good. So overall, I think this gig is pretty solid. The portfolio is great. I hate the unlimited revisions that you have listed in a couple of spots. I'm not a fan of that. I think that the gig description is awesome. I think that the big takeaway here is you need to create 3 separate gigs for these 3 types of promotional flyers. I think that'll help you improve your SEO. I think that'll help you be more tailored and specific to what buyers might actually specifically be looking for. And I think that's definitely going to help you get more orders. So overall, awesome job.
All right, so that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for submitting your Fiverr profile and gig for review on this channel. I hope this video was really helpful to you and anyone else watching. Before I go, make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're new here. I do my best to put out videos every week that help new Fiverr sellers or people who have been selling on Fiverr for a while improve their gigs, their profiles, and operate in a way where they're making more money and having more happy clients as Fiverr sellers. So thanks again for watching. Cheers.